Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of D Sports Gurus. I'm your host, Brandon Fresh Dandridge. I got a guest with me, man. I got my cousin, man, Juiceman Des. He gonna be our special guest on the podcast today. We gonna be primarily talking college sports, of course, Michigan football, go blue. Maybe even get into a little bit of high school football. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
What up, dog, y'all? I'm Juiceman Des. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Juiceman Des. That's it.
All right. So we gonna be getting to college football. Let me just say, man, I'm like on a scale from 1 to 10 as a college football fan, I would say like I'm probably like a 6.5, 7 type of guy. I'm not like really. I used to be kind of big on college football back in the day, and then it kind of fell off of me. It's starting to get back hype with the playoffs. Like I'm not gonna lie, with the playoffs, that kind of got it back interesting because it don't feel like it's just Alabama and that's it no more. You feel me? It feel like schools actually got a chance to, you feel me, compete. So I'm definitely back into college football, especially with Coach Prime being back in.
Oh
He got
yeah,
me back in,
yeah.
so I'm back in. I know you a big college football fan, so you know, talk
My
about
my
which. Go ahead, go ahead.
my favorite sport. I think they put out the best product, even better than NFL to me, just because of the rivalries, which is big. I don't think the NFL has rivalries as big as college, and I just think they put out the best product. The rivalries, man. You got the traditions of the teams, man. It's the best product to me. I'm just a huge fan.
I think my biggest drawback from college sports for me or college football in general is it's the fact that like damn, I lost my train of thought. What you were saying they put out the best product,
Yeah, I think the
the
traditions
rivalries.
and the rivalries is
Oh,
just
okay,
like
okay, yeah, yeah.
unmatched.
This
Yeah.
this my biggest reason why I'm not a big fan of college football because the officiating was horrible. Like it is extremely horrible. Like college football officiating is so horrible, dog.
You
Like
don't think the NFL
man,
officiating is bad?
it is, but at least I feel like at least you got challenges and reviews. You got enough of, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying? It is bad officiating in the NFL. That's definitely true. But I feel like you got enough of more power, more say so, and trying to get the officials up out the game in NFL. All right, but let's talk about what you've been thinking about the college football season so far. Who the top dogs and whatnot. What you see as far as the playoffs lining up and so forth.
Without being biased or too biased, I would have to say, I mean, the best looking team, anybody watching college football, the best looking team right now is Michigan. They've dominated every single team they've played. We've seen the top teams struggle with lesser teams. We've seen Ohio State struggle with Indiana. We're watching Penn State struggle with Indiana right now as we speak. We've seen Georgia struggle with their schedule. And I know Michigan is taking a lot of flack for saying that they don't have a good schedule. But if you look at the schedule rankings, Georgia has an easy schedule than Michigan, and they struggle with that schedule. So,
Do
in
they?
my
Okay.
opinion, yes, that's a fact. Yes, they have a. I think they're ranking. I don't want to say the numbers because I don't have the exact numbers, but Georgia
Got you.
has an easier schedule than Michigan. That's a fact. But they've
Okay.
struggled with their schedule, as you've seen. They struggle with Auburn, and Michigan has just wiped the floor with every single team they played against. It's not even been close.
They
Their
have.
starters haven't even played a fourth quarter. I don't think we've seen that,
That's true.
have we? I don't think we've
No,
seen that
no,
in
no,
college
not
football. That week 8 and your
not
starters haven't played a fourth quarter. That's insane.
not in recent history, especially not in recent Michigan football history. It's definitely been a team that's been performing above all the teams I done probably seen in my lifetime. Shit, I'm just being honest. All the teams I done
No,
seen in
yeah,
my
it's
lifetime.
it's, it's insane right now. Now I will say our rivals, Ohio State, they've taken care of business of teams in front of them. They've beaten Notre Dame, but we've seen Notre Dame is not as good as a team as we thought. They had a top 10 matchup with Penn State last week, but as we're watching right now, Penn State is also not the team that we thought they were. So, but other than that, Ohio State has taken care of every team that's been in front of them. So, I think they should be one of the top 4 ranked teams also. Florida State, I think it should be Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, and Washington could be 3 or 4. It doesn't matter right now. But I mean, everything shape itself out before the end of the season. So the rankings to me, I don't think it's a big deal from week to week because you still Ohio State and Michigan are gonna have to see each other. Michigan got to play
Right,
Penn State, so the rankings to me really
right.
don't. It's not a
Not
big
right
deal, man.
now.
Yeah,
Not
nah,
right
you
now.
got to play these teams anyway. So
Yeah, yeah. The way they, like I said, the way they fixed college football over the past, like, I don't know how many years or so, with the conference, adding them conference championships to the conferences that didn't
yes,
have conference championships, and with the
yes,
playoffs. So it kind of like it's kind of like hard for you to kind of not have your case made by your play with your team. So um, that part about college football has got it back fixed. And I feel like another part about college football and college sports in general that kind of got it back fixed is the NIL. Like the NIL was
oh yeah,
another reason
love it,
why I just wasn't really fucking with the NCAA in general, like,
love it.
period, just because I felt like they was just trying to control the product. You know what I mean? Like, whereas we say they do put out the best product or whatever like that, they got they get a lot of they got a lot of viewership, all that, right? But
Yeah.
I felt like they was controlling the product with not sharing some of that revenue. Like, you gotta share some of them dollars, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's part of the reason our coach is under fire right now, man. He spoke out earlier this season that the players should be receiving more money from the NCAA, or the revenue, and now every week it's a new case on Michigan, man. It's getting crazy, man.
Right,
Gym is for the
right.
kids, man.
So you think that got something to do with it a little bit?
Man, don't get me to talking crazy, man. It's what's going on in Michigan right now is insane, man. I honestly don't know what to say, man. I don't like
All right.
the
Before
burger
we get
thing
into,
first. Okay,
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say the burger thing with Jim Harbaugh first was just insane. We know for a fact that these schools down south, I'm not gonna name those schools, but these top schools, they're known to have bag men to drop bags off to these students, these kids, student athletes is what they call them. But they
Right.
they nobody bats an eye. But Jim Harbaugh buy a kid a cheeseburger to talk to him about recruiting, and the NCAA is just hitting Michigan over the head. I got a theory on why that is, but we'll get into that once we get into this topic.
Got you, got you. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been following every little scandal about college football because I feel like college football is just so vast. It's hard to keep up with everything. I did see the recent stuff that's been going on, and I do know Harbaugh did get hit with a suspension earlier in the year, so I know there was some
It was
stuff going on.
self-imposed. The
Okay,
Michigan
self-imposed.
self-imposed that. Yep, yep.
What was that for again? Because
So
I
that
don't
was that
quite
was
know.
for the recruiting violations. That was for him buying a student, a player, a recruit, a cheeseburger. So they
Got you. Okay, so that
self-imposed
that
that.
was what that was
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Got you. All right, so that's what that was for.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's just that's another thing with NCAA football. I just feel like it's a lot of like real shady backdoor ass shit that go on
Absolutely.
because it's a lot of
Absolutely.
people. NCAA is like the NFL owners. Like, they the last
Yeah.
brigade of white men that's controlling shit, and you know what I mean. They don't want to
Exactly.
give up the last
Yeah.
bit of
Yeah.
power. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a lot
Agreed.
of bullshit that's going on behind closed doors about college football
Agreed.
and stuff like that. So people like Jim Harbaugh and the Deion Sanders of the landscape, they're gonna shake up college
Yes.
football a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Deion a little bit, just because I be seeing you, man. I be seeing you talk your stuff, man. You vocal online about how you feeling and all this stuff, right? Now, my opinion is, right. I feel like this is what I feel about Dion, right? If you're a Dion fan, or you've been following Prime Time, like, I'm a Dion fan. Dion was like one of my favorite players. You feel me? Like, a lot of people favorite players. Like, you gotta know, like, Prime gonna turn up wherever he go, bro. He just a winner. Like, he
Absolutely.
he only know that. Like, that's all he know how to do is win. And
One of the
not
greatest
only
athletes
that,
of all times.
he galvanized people. Like, he one of the people that get you hype. Like if you somebody that get people hype, you got a different type of appeal. You feel me? So his appeal in college football, he gonna shake shit up. Now, my whole thing was I felt like a lot of the public, not necessarily like the media and shit like that, because I expect the media to be on whatever they on. I feel like the public was trying to come down on Dion like Dion was bolstering like, hey shit, I'm about to win 10 games this year. Dion Dion know it's gonna be a process. If you listen to Dion talk, Dion been saying it's gonna be a process. If you listen to Dion talk, even after all of those wins, he wasn't just like like uh delusional about what type of team he had and where their strengths and weaknesses was at, right? Now when we look at their schedule, right? The tough loss they just took to Stanford last week, right? I feel like I look at it like this. Teams are especially like those not top tier teams, they take those type of losses generally all the time. Like you see a team creep up on them and they give them a loss. They was up by like what 29 or something like that first half, and they still lost. So it's just my thing with Dion is just people gotta understand that it's gonna take time, and but once he get it, cause he got the buzz, man. He got all the young recruits. Like he got even the local high school football players that's here that I know that's
He
them.
need to stay out of
They
Michigan, man. Dion, stay
they
your
they
ass out of
they
Michigan.
down in Colorado. I mean,
Yep.
but generally Michigan don't get a lot of players from here anyway, like not in
Oh,
the
I'm
city
just hating.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
know, I
hating.
know. I'm just
Absolutely.
saying, yeah, we don't generally get a lot of players from here anyway, so that ain't even. But
Hmm.
the ones that do, they end up going to Michigan State to lose. But that's a different story. All right, so
Yeah.
you could talk about how you feel about Dion and whatnot, right?
I like Dion, man. I think he should have stayed at the HBCU, but him in Colorado, he gonna be under a lot of scrutiny, man. He there with his kids, man. And it's not just him, man. When his team beat the games they have won, they've beaten lesser teams that's not that good, and they storming the field. His son showing the AP in front of everybody, like, bro, you just beat a team that won 2 games last year and probably gonna win 2 games this year. They gotta relax just a little bit, man, because you don't have a defense. You're not gonna be able to stop the Oregons. You're not gonna be able to stop the Washingtons, the USCs. We've seen that. Your defense giving up 30, 40, 50 points. Like they gotta relax just a
Um,
little bit, man.
I push back a little bit on that because you got to look at it like this. First of all, it's not just the team; it's the school.
It's
All
the
right.
city, yeah, yeah. I agree.
So the
I agree.
school in the city, they got their ass beat last year. They lost a bunch of
For
games. All
years
right.
before that,
So
yeah. So I
exactly.
understand that they
So
happy
this
to
is
just be winning. Yeah,
different.
I agree. Yeah.
This ain't just like, oh, we won a championship. They probably more so just happy that they can see where it is about to go. You feel what I'm saying? So
I agree.
it's a little bit different. The first game, they beat a team that went to the national championship. That's a big game. You feel me? They come back and
Now
beat a
my
couple rival
only
teams.
I agree with all that. My only knock is we got to look to the future. Dion has been traveling with his sons. If anybody's paying attention, he's coached them in high school, followed them to college. They went to HBCU, and now they're at Colorado. He already came out and said his Shador is not going to the league next year because he don't want to be behind Caleb Williams. He said that. But what do Dion
Got
do
you.
after next year when Shador is gone? Do he leave Colorado and get a better job,
Why?
which I think he's going to be up for? I think any college in the country right now, I'd take him.
Why? Okay, so okay, so here go my thing about that, right? I feel like
That's not a
okay,
knock,
so
first of all. Not to cut you off. That's
this
not a
one,
knock either.
all right, I got you. So this on a cultural side, right? I feel like we as a culture want to see so much from our cultural heroes. And I feel like that's not their obligation to fulfill every duty that we want to see pushed forward on the culture. So would it have been nice to see Dion stay at Jackson State? Yes, it would have been nice. But at the same time, I can understand why he left. I saw the conditions that he had to deal with. It wasn't like they was, you feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta, it's still about the money in general because money is how you provide what you need to provide for your recruits. Cause that's what it boils down to. You gotta be able to get recruits, right? And
Absolutely.
a recruit might like Dion. That might be cool, but when he gets to one of them top programs and he see what all they got to offer, this facility, this, that, you know what I mean? Whatever they got to offer that he know, you gotta understand. Dion went to a top Power 5 school. He didn't go to no. You feel what I'm saying? So he know the difference between top notch
He
and
didn't go to
and
top Power 5 school. He went to a lower level Power 5 school, but
I mean, I'm saying he went to uh uh nationally known school, FSU. He went to Florida
yeah,
State.
right, right, right.
That wasn't no just so he know what a top program look like versus a uh Division 2 program, far as what they can provide,
But
far as the
that's not.
kids.
I don't have a problem with none of that. My problem is Dion went on a damn press tour before all of this. HBCUs. He was HBCU this, HBCU that. The
That's what
top
you're
players can
supposed to
come to
say, man.
HBCUs.
That's what
And
you're
then
supposed to
he went
say.
on a pivot and did an interview and said,
That's what
"I know school." He said, "I know schools are gonna come talk to me, but I don't care about that right now." And the first school came to talk to him, he got the hell on. Like,
listen,
but I mean, I
listen.
don't care about all
That's
that,
what
man.
you
But he got the hell
supposed to
on.
say.
Like, bye bye.
That's business. I can't listen. I'm not. I'm past the point. You talking? We know each other, right? You talk to somebody who done been in with the fight for the people, but I'm past the point. I
Mm-hmm.
realize something. I'm past the point to where I hold people to where they gotta make every decision for the people versus for them. If you
Oh
want
yeah,
to
that's
make decisions
impossible.
for you,
All right.
then I can't knock that, right? And then it's not like he got there and he start like, oh shit, I'm about to just recruit a bunch of white kids. No, he's
Nah.
still getting there, and he's still in with the culture, bringing them kids, putting them on,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting them, giving them opportunities. So I just rock with everything that Dion's trying to do. Far as like Shador and all of them, right? I feel like it's a different time, bro. It's a different time. We dealing with a different athlete. They making money. So to a degree,
Go ahead.
they kind of advertising, they marketing while playing. They different. So I can't
To
approach
add to
it.
that, you saying it's a different. I agree with you because I watch Shador. I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel and I watch his blogs and shit, and they be having a ball. They
Exactly.
work
It's
hard. They
just a
work hard at practice. They do their thing. I see all that, and then
but that's
they be
typical
having
though.
fun. Yeah,
Who
yeah,
kind of just be locked in on all work and don't get no, you know what I'm saying? It's a few players that's wired like that. You feel me? But most people we gonna work, but then we gonna have fun, man. We gonna do it.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
know how to turn it on. You gotta know how to be business when
Nah.
it's time to be
If you
business.
watch in high school, the kids is everybody doing this now. This is a thing. Like Shador
It's
is. That's
marketing.
why he's the
It's
top play.
marketing.
Yeah, top NIL. Absolutely,
And when we
absolutely.
speak about him going to the pros, that's another reason. Why would he? He getting his money right now. That's why you
Exactly.
hear
There's no reason to
Caleb
rush no
Williams,
more. Yes.
Caleb Williams, him and his pops coming out trying to make LeVar
He
Ball
leaving. I don't care
moves.
what
And
they talking about. He
I know,
leaving.
I'm just saying, like all I hear is LeVar Ball types, even more ridiculous than LeVar Ball type stuff. And I'm just like, man, hold on, dog. And I'm not even too like so sold on Caleb like that. All right,
They
not
talking
just
about he the
being the
best
best.
quarterback recruit
Yeah,
since they
you
they they
know,
be
not
talking
just like
crazy.
that, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, like this was the
yeah,
same guy that was at Oklahoma. Like
yeah.
I'm not saying that like he trashed as a player. I'm just saying like I ain't seen him win a big game. I ain't seen him beat
Nope.
a tough team. So I
He led
can't just
Ohio State into the playoffs
even
last year. Shit.
even when they played Colorado, like Colorado had gave them a game. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like compared
Mm-hmm.
to what USC should have had on a recruiting level to compare to Colorado, it shouldn't even been a
It's the
game. Like you know
Pac-12,
what I
bro. You
mean?
know they don't play defense.
Yeah,
If you got a good offense, you can
Pac-12,
beat anybody in the Pac-12. Yeah, they don't play
Pac-12
defense.
is like that. Even though Pac-12 is a nice strong conference. I'm liking that conference a
Right
little bit
now,
this year.
but once if they got to play a Big Ten team in the playoffs or SEC team in the playoffs, they're gonna get smacked.
I can't say that, man,
And
cause Big Ten,
that's why college football is so hype right there.
yeah, because styles big. I mean, college football is like boxing. You got different styles that start to
Yep.
measure up when you get to the end of it. Like the top
I
teams,
just
it
feel
be different
like
styles.
when you got a team like Michigan pass rush is elite. I don't care how fast paced your offense is. When that pass rush coming at you, man, it's tough. It's tough to win, man. Michigan got a
Michigan,
defensive tackle. He's a sophomore. Like, man, these guys. Michigan got about. I think they said they might set the record for the draft this year with at least
yeah,
18
I
players
heard that.
taken in.
Yeah, I heard
That's
that.
insane, man. That is insane. Look at
I would
Georgia the
say,
last 2 years. Look at Georgia the last 2 years. They got Jalen Carter, defensive tackle right now, is in the NFL playing like a freaking
yep,
veteran. him in
Yeah.
college was unfair. That defense they had last year and the year before that was just legendary,
I would
man.
say I would say Michigan got like probably the deepest team that you can see right now. Like they team running so deep, man. They players they defensive line playing like 20 snaps a game. Like
Michigan is traveling
they
with, you don't
they
travel with your entire roster, right? Michigan is traveling. They went to Michigan State with, I think they said 50 some, I could be wrong, 50, 60 some players, and everybody played. Like, I don't
yeah,
think we've ever seen
I
stuff
can
like
see
this.
that.
They're letting
Yeah.
everybody's eating, man. This is ridiculous.
So when we talk about college football this year, like I kind of was really rejuvenated this year at the beginning of the season. Of course, Deion had us hype and stuff like that. But
Yeah, of
I'm a
course.
Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan fan. I'm an original like Michigan fan. I grew up watching Charles Woodson. Like, oh, I can go back like David Terrell. I watched a bunch of Michigan players when I was a kid, right? They fell off at a certain point, and I kind of lost my love for college football because Michigan wasn't shit. So I wasn't really like feeling it like that. All right,
That's how I
so
feel about the
I've been.
Lions.
We that's another show, man. That's another show. I got to bring you on for another show. All right, but
Yeah,
but I mean I agree with you though, but that's another show, and we can get into that. All right, but
yeah, definitely.
with Harbaugh coming in, Harbaugh kind of start, you know, I start at first I was kind of pissed, like Harbaugh, damn, you ain't winning a big game. But I started seeing that he was laying culture and he was building recruit, he was building, right? And now he done built it up to the point to where we back, and it got me fully excited about football. So last year watching Michigan, I seen like, damn, this team got a team, but they just ain't got like that elite quarterback. Like they need an elite quarterback. Like, cause sometimes when they get to them tough games, if the rest of your team ain't like super elite, like if that defense ain't like top notch, like how Georgia shit was, then you can't really just dominate a game without
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
player. Now I saw JJ McCarthy kind of had like a little bit of it, but last year I seen like, damn, he just ain't quite got it, right? Because you gotta have that like when the pressure coming, you gotta wanna go make the play. And he was more so kind of like, I'm not gonna go make the mistake more so last year, right?
Hmm.
And the difference maker was in that championship. I'm trying to tell you, I was texting my mans. I'm like, bro, they man in them. They bring in 6-7 in the box. The only way Michigan gonna do something if they start running the quarterback. Like they gotta run the quarterback. And you see, as soon as they start running the quarterback in the second half, it kind of neutralized everything. And then
Yes.
the space started spacing out. They was able to start doing a lot more shit, right?
That's how we
But
beat
now
Penn State last year. Yeah, absolutely.
this year, dog done got so dynamic. Like I seen it in the first couple games. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no, he ready, bro. Like he on him, like he not even just dynamic on some like he the quarterback that we can win a national championship with. Dog gonna go high in the draft. Like he gonna be a top
First
quarterback. Like
rounder.
he
Hmm.
one, two, three type top quarterback off the class. Like I see it. Like if you see what he can do,
Hmm.
the way he maneuvering in the pocket this year, man, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's
JJ
crazy. Like
McCarthy he's throwing
man,
laser
he him,
passes, man.
man, bro,
They
he
gave
him,
him
bro.
he got the keys to the offense right now for sure. And he deserves
Yeah,
it.
he him,
Even with our running
he
back
him.
room, like JJ McCarthy is a freaking dog right now. He leading in the Heisman running right now. It's no surprise to me at all, man. But that's all
Yeah,
Jim
so
has
I'm
been
just
missing since he's been at Michigan is a competent
most definitely,
quarterback. That's
most
all he's been
definitely,
missing. 2016, first of all, JT was short. We beat Ohio State. I don't care nobody say. All he's missing was a quarterback, man. That's all he's been missing the whole
right,
time he's been there, and he finally got one. And you see what this team is. Oh my God, they scary. And now they, with all these accusations, everybody's pissing Michigan off, talking about they cheating to win. They need to vacate wins, and it's getting crazy. I feel sorry for
right,
anybody got to play this team these last 4 games. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. They're
right.
about to set some examples, man.
All right, so um, before we get into the scandal, we'll talk about recruiting a little bit, and I guess that can kind of segue into some high school football a little bit. Uh,
Okay, yeah,
high
yeah.
school football, I kind of was. I went to a game or two at the beginning of the season, but then I kind of fell off and stopped paying attention to who was doing what. You know what I mean? And I been paying attention a little bit, but not like that. You know, so you can kind of talk a little bit about high school football. I did just look up the recruiting classes and whatnot, and I did see that Michigan had like a 15th ranked recruiting class for next season or something like that.
which doesn't make sense for Michigan to be
Yeah,
having this type of success.
I don't understand that. I don't
You're
understand
back
that.
to back Big Ten champions. We wiped the Florida Ohio State the last 2 years, and our recruiting is just not picked up, man. And they got a lot to do
Shit,
with our head coach, man. Has a
Jim
lot to do
gotta
with our head
Jim
coach.
gotta he gotta give out more burgers or something, dog. Shit, cause 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 like dog, I don't get it neither. Like I looked on there, I didn't see 1 5-star. We don't got 1 5-star that want to come play
Nope.
for Michigan. Like
We had one, but
damn.
they, a lot of people saying once a 5-star commits to Michigan, they start dropping in the rankings, which I agree. Our quarterback that we got committed in this class, Jaden Davis, stud. He was one of the top quarterbacks until
Oh,
he committed to
okay,
Michigan.
got you.
And then,
Oh,
yes, he's dropped. He's
so
like ranked
that's some
100 and something. Yeah, it's crazy. He was a 5-star.
and
He dropped in
the
rankings,
kids
yes.
they gonna care about their rankings. They gonna feel some type of way
Some
if
of
their
them,
rankings
yeah.
start to drop
Yep,
and shit
yep,
like
some
that,
of them.
right?
And
Or
then you
they
got a head
parents, they
coach
got parents.
who's, yep. Then you got a head coach who's dabbling with the NFL every year. Iris, please go.
You think you think I mean I get that, but I feel like I feel like kids choose the school more than they choose the coach because I feel like the school
You
got
have to, yeah.
more recognition, more way than the coach do. But I do know the coach got plenty of influence and plenty of, you know what I'm saying, sway on
Absolutely.
that. Like, you
And
know what
then
I'm
let's
saying?
let's 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 be for real, man. A lot of these top players want to get paid, and Michigan don't play that game. They just don't.
But
We'll
see
have
the
a
thing,
5-star player get all the way down to the wire to the last signing day, and then be like, "I'm just not
yeah,
going to
yeah,
Michigan, man." We had a
yeah, we
recruit on
know.
campus earlier this summer. His name David Stone. He's a 5-star defensive lineman. He said, walking out of Michigan, I was going to commit to Michigan. Do you know where he committed to like the next day?
Who?
He's an Ohio State Buckeye right now, but we know Ohio State dropping bags. That's why
I
Ohio State
mean,
is able to compete in recruiting with
well, the thing about
the
it
U.
is Michigan got such a messed up history, not just football, basketball, all type of shit
Of course,
with
yes,
money
of
and
course,
stuff like that that they can't even go even that can't
yeah,
even be their route. Like that can't
no,
even be
yeah,
no
yeah.
type of
And
way
these
that
top
that's their
players want to
route.
get paid, and I'm not against
Yeah.
it too. They should get paid.
The only thing
We
that
had a top
Michigan,
recruit, Rashawn Gary,
yeah,
2016, I
Rashawn Gary,
believe.
yeah, he's from New
He
Jersey,
came out
went
in
to the Packers.
his recruiting came out in two
He was a
schools,
five
Michigan and
star.
Clemson. He was the number one player in that class.
Yeah,
I was shocked that he went to Michigan, but after he went to the NFL, he came out and said that my recruiting came down to Michigan and another school. We know who the other school is. I don't know why he said that. He said they offered me
right,
$300,000 to sign there, and I
right.
believe it. I believe these top schools are offering these players that type of money. A player of
I
Rashawn
think
Gary's, yeah, I would offer
yeah,
him that much
cause
money to come to
they
my school
making the
too.
money. The
It's
school's making that
nothing.
money.
It's
That
nothing
ain't
to
shit.
them.
300,000 ain't that.
Exactly.
But
It's
the
nothing.
thing about it, I feel like the one thing that keep Michigan at least getting all those 4 stars or at least getting players that they can turn into star players is the fact that they even when Jim Harbaugh was kind of like struggling a little bit, they send players to the league. Players been going to the league for
Nah,
Michigan.
let's talk about
They've been
that.
going.
Let's
They've
talk
been
about
going
that.
for
We just
sure.
seen that happen with our basketball team, right? John Beeline was doing the same thing. He was going to get these players that wasn't top players,
Yeah, he
and he sent
was.
them
He
all to
was.
the NBA. Jim Harbaugh is
Yeah, he
doing the
did.
same thing. He's not getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5
No,
stars in his
no,
class,
that's for
but
sure.
he's got the number one team in the country, right? The number two team in the country right now. And
No, that's for
I don't
sure.
think people like that. Like, how are you doing? How he got a whole system in place now? We got the best
Yeah,
strength
speak
and
to the
conditioning
program.
program.
Yeah, I was just about to say, speak to the program, what they
Best strength
doing.
and conditioning
He
program. Our culture right now is just it's unmatched right now.
I like the way he aggressive with the way he go about hiring his coaching staff, coordinators, and stuff like that. He kind of in
Have
tune
to
with
be.
being
Yes.
forward and
Have to
progressive,
be.
and not just, you don't see a bunch of old guys all littered around his staff. You see a bunch of young dudes with some
Yes.
pep in their step
Have
and
to
stuff
be.
like that. You feel me? So I definitely commend Jim. You know, Jim understand it, bro. Like I always like the Jim as a coach anyway, even when he was at San Fran, just because he always reminded me like a Pete Carroll, those type of coaches that got a lot of energy, and they gonna get players that wanna
One of
wanna
his
go play
arch
for them. Like,
nemesis.
you
One of
feel
his
me? Yeah,
arch
you know,
nemesis, Pete
they gonna get
Carroll.
players that's
Yeah.
gonna wanna go play for them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they got that pep
Yes.
in their step. They still
Yep.
hungry. They
Yes.
coach like, if they could play, they'd be on the field. So
And
players
he
love
all
those
about the
type of coaches.
kids, man. Jim Harbaugh won't even do a post interview after the game. He makes sure he got two players standing by him, and he'll talk to the interviewer for like 2 seconds, and then he'll push the player in front of him like, talk to him. They just won the game. Talk to
Right,
them. Like, he all about the
right,
kids, man. I don't think we've seen that, man.
right.
That's amazing. But I
So
don't know, man. We
not
got some top recruits coming out of Michigan. And I don't know what they got to do to get Bryce Underwood or C.J. Stannard.
yeah,
We got to
yeah.
keep
I
these
don't,
kids at home, man. These are studs. We
as
cannot let leave our backyard. We can't.
it's crazy because now I'm conflicted because I got my man's Dion, who I want to see get
No,
all the top recruits too.
he
But
got to stay
then
out of Michigan. Man.
I'm still loyal to Michigan. I would
Yes,
love to see some more homegrown products do go to Michigan. Like, I ain't
yes.
really seen like no the last homegrown product was like what
Donovan
Dennis,
People Jones.
Donovan,
Jordan Lewis.
Jordan Lewis. Okay,
Jordan Lewis.
but I'm talking
Yeah,
about
them
like
type of guys. Yeah.
big stars. I feel like what's the name was the last one for me. Like the one that was kind of like the city star was Dennis from
Oh, Dennis the
King.
Menace out of King, running back, was a
Yeah,
dog. But as soon as Jim Harbaugh got there, he left. As
yeah.
soon as Jim
So
got there, he
like
left.
I want to see some CJs. I want to see some Bryces. I want to see
Yes.
some of these young dudes look at
Bryce is
Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Bryce Underwood is as advertised, bro. Wherever he go, it's between right now. It's between Michigan and LSU. I don't think Colorado is in the running right now. It's between Michigan and LSU. Wherever he go,
Okay.
man, kid is a stud, bro.
Yeah,
He is as
Bryce him.
advertised.
We've
He's
been
like
hearing
that.
about Bryce for a minute. All
He's
right,
like
so
that.
let's get into these scandals. So just listening to the whole conversation we've been having about college football and shit, it sounds like your theory is that these scandals got more to do, or these investigations and this stuff got more to do with trying to put a negative light over the program than more than it got to do with it being actual scandals. And now what I will
Mm.
say is, man, this last little scandal that came out, a lot of the stuff that, and this is another reason why I be kind of like don't fuck with college football, because they got a lot of like petty ass. They find little like petty ass shit to make like something big, but it ain't really big. I feel like, man, bro, don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. Like who care
Except the
about that
rival
shit? Like,
fans.
you know
Ohio
what I'm
State
saying?
fans talking
Exactly.
about we shouldn't play the
Only
game this year.
only
Man, it's getting
fans.
crazy
Even
on
even
Twitter.
even like Michigan State going as far as like having a quarterback run to the sideline for plays. Like
And where
that
did
shit
that
was
get them?
ridiculous to me. Like, exactly, like
You couldn't even
to
get in
get your
field goal
ass
range.
beat. Like, what was the point of that shit? Like,
Yay.
what was we doing here? And then
They
the
just made a
whole
statement
theory
for
about it,
us. You just showed the world that we still whooping ass without
bro.
all that little goofy
The
shit
whole
going on, bro.
theory about it is just sound preposterous. Like, bro, you telling me y'all had a nigga go to the game. He recorded the signs. So what
That's
y'all
already being
came back,
reported on national TV.
y'all came back, y'all took that and y'all got something from it. Oh no, wait. Not only that, they're gonna call this shit in the middle of the play, split second. Y'all gonna see them call some shit
So
from their
people think that this
sideline.
mean that you know the play that's coming out. They like, oh no, they know exactly
Man,
what. That's why
they
Ohio State
they
lost the
can't
last
think
2 years
that.
because Michigan knew the
Man,
play. That's what
they can't
on Twitter,
think that,
Ohio
bro.
State
Like,
fans, they're saying we're gonna have to
I
vacate
know
games. They're saying we shouldn't even play
this
this year. Like we shouldn't even play Michigan. Like it's getting
this what
insane,
happens
man.
when you a diehard fan. Like, I'm a fan of sports, right? But I don't consider myself a diehard fan of nothing, because I still have a like reason with me. Like, I'm not finna be delusional just
Exactly
because I'm
right.
a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
fan.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the most I'll go is saying, like, I'm being biased. Like, that's the most I go. Like, I'll tell you, like, nigga, I'm being
I
biased.
agree.
This how cause this my
I
squad,
agree.
or
Yeah,
this
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
dude.
I
I don't
agree.
give a fuck. Like, I say that before I just be like delusional. Like no, they was fucking cheating. Nah, bro. It's no way. Even like you got NFL players coming out. Like, man, that shit just sound retarded as hell. Like, nigga,
Other
they
coaches
had
in different
somebody
conferences are
go to
saying coming in.
games.
Deion
Bro, they
said
know
something
this shit
about it. Like
ridiculous, man.
what? Yeah, yeah.
Come on, dog.
It's getting
Even
out of hand. Yeah.
to a player, how you feel, even as a player, like, bro, you think that's disrespectful to me that you think you can come to my shit and record some shit and then watch me do it in a split second. Y'all make an adjustment and make a play. Nigga, I feel like I ain't shit. You feel me? So
Anybody who's
yeah,
even
that's
played little league football know, like, come on, bro. Like,
even even down to the fact of when you play sports, we always say this: they can know what you doing, but they still
that's
gotta
what
stop
Deion
it.
said.
Like
That's exactly what
we still
Deion
go
said two
down.
days
We
ago.
still go down to that. Like, man,
That's it.
sometimes you'll be feeling it as a sports person. You'll be like, bro, this what I'm doing. Like, just because that's how you feel. Like, don't
Exactly.
nobody. Yeah, so it's
I
a lot
think
of
this will
ridiculous
blow
stuff
over.
going on.
It's right now they just trying to smear the name of Michigan tomorrow. This team is ready to compete for a national championship. I don't
I
think the
don't
Big
think
Ten
we
is going to
gonna
be a
hear.
problem,
I
but
don't
this
think
is
we
this
hear
it'll
any
die down.
repercussions. Yeah, I don't think we see
Not
any
this year at
repercussions
least.
until like after the playoffs or anything like that, because don't nobody. I know college football, man. College football want to be squeaky clean as possible. They don't really want no smears on nothing. If they could, they'd
Well, the
go through clean
NCAA has
doctors.
to first. The NCAA has to put a notice on Michigan, and then once they do that, Michigan has 90 days to respond to that, and the playoff will be over by then. So it's
Got
not
you.
going to affect this season. People talking about we're gonna have to, even if y'all win the championship, y'all gonna have to vacate. Like, you know, this is a level 2 violation. You know, a team just got
Right.
in trouble for this in 2016, and nothing happened. People
Was
just
it
like, man,
Oklahoma? When
it
when Oklahoma?
was. I know Clemson has been in trouble for this, but no, it was damn, I can't think of the name of the team off the top of my head. It wasn't Oklahoma. It was I'm having a brain fart right now, man. But it wasn't Oklahoma. It was in 2016. The team got caught for this. I think it was Tennessee. It was Tennessee. Tennessee got caught doing the same thing, and they didn't get any repercussions. Nothing happened. They probably did some self-imposed
Right.
stuff, but they're not
Right.
vacating no
Right.
damn games. This isn't helping you become a good program by freaking recording a team. Like, bro, this is the yeah. And a lot of people don't
Right.
know this, but in 2020, the NCAA met and they were going to get rid of this rule. Like, this rule is
Right.
on the way out the door. It probably will be thrown out now because of
It
this.
is because it's stupid as fuck. Like
So the
especially if you
reason
got
they rate,
NIL. If you got
I'll tell you the reason
NIL,
they
I
made
don't
this
see
rule.
what's the point of this shit. Like,
The reason they made this rule is because lower level schools can't afford to do this. Like they say,
right,
Michigan spent
exactly,
15,000 a year on this. Lower level
exactly.
schools can't afford to do this. So that's the only, like, bro, come on,
Got you.
man.
I see it.
They pulling up pictures of the dude on the
It
sideline with a like they trying to.
it makes
It's just
sense.
getting out of
It makes
control,
sense.
man.
I get where they coming from on the competitive aspect, but like we gotta understand that college sports is not competitive, because if one team can recruit all the best players, then it's not gonna never be levelly competitive on no level of whatever sport you're talking about, because I can still always go get all the best players, and if they choose to come play for me, they choose to come play for me. So
I
the only
disagree with
way
that. It's a lot of teams that got top players and they're not good right now. Texas
I know, I'm
A&M
just
done had
saying,
like 3 straight recruiting classes and they just ass cheeks.
like if that's what
But
they
I get what
choose
you're
to do, then that's what
saying.
they choose to do. But that's why I feel like it should just be a fair market, and it, and really what it's about is, if we being honest, man, it's about somebody controlling who getting the paper, bro. Because if it was really open, a high school kid should be able to make as much money as people want to put in his motherfucking pockets. He should be able to take that shit. You
They
feel
just
me?
passed that in Michigan too this week. They just passed
and
NIL
and
is
that's how
legal
I
in Michigan
feel,
high school sports. Yep.
because if people want to give me money and they want to throw cash at me and I want to take it, especially if I might need it, man, why can't I get to that money, man? if it's gonna go somewhere else and go in somebody else's pocket, that don't make sense, man. So
And the
I'm
kids are the
definitely
one doing
with.
the work. They're the ones that's actually playing the damn sport. Like what?
Come on, man. That shit is a
What the
job. They've
hell?
been working. They've been working to build themselves up since whenever, and whenever they pop, that's when they pop. Now,
They should have been paying these
now,
kids.
of
Yeah,
course, of course, you know you got issues with that, but that's where parents and other people got to start being in place to start steering the kids in the right way so they get with the right people and put them in the right
that's a whole nother
situations, stuff like that.
podcast. We talk about that, man.
Facts, facts. And
It's another
everything ain't gonna
episode. Yeah,
always work out 100 correctly. So it's always gonna be a bad story for every good
exactly.
story. All
Exactly.
right, so man, I'm gonna bring you back on, man. We gonna talk some I think the next podcast I'm gonna have you on, I want you to come on. We talk some Alliance since you be trying to I don't know what to call you, man. Like I really know
uh,
see look, this my thing about people who troll the Lions, right? I know what it's about. Deep down, everybody that really troll the Lions that's from the city is a Lions fan. They just don't want to be disappointed. So because
that's
they
a
don't want
fact.
to
I
be
agree. Yeah,
disappointed,
I'll admit that.
they troll
Your
them.
feelings be
And
hurt.
listen,
I feel like that
I'm
about
a
Michigan
Lions
for a long
fan.
time. Yes.
I'm a Lions fan. See, and the type of fan I am, I'm just realistic. I can still be a fan of the team and know that this team gonna suck because we don't got the shit that we got. Like I've been a Lions fan for all this time, but certain years I'm not even as committed as I'm gonna be because I know like we ain't got the pieces. Last year I wasn't fucking with them till I started paying attention to
I
a couple
was
games.
like,
I'm like, all right,
I watched them
they
on
looking decent.
HBO Max. I'm like, oh, they got the culture different. Just watching the HBO Max thing for 4 weeks, I'm like, the Lions
Yes,
is a different
I
team,
watched
bro.
the HBO Max, and I knew enough to.
Hard
I was
Knocks. Yeah, I couldn't
already
think of his
I
name,
was
but Hard
already
Knocks. Yeah.
sold on Dan Campbell. I
I
didn't
wish
even
they would have
need
did it
Hard
this year.
Knocks.
Yeah.
I've been knew Dan Campbell was gonna do what he was gonna do. I just knew he needed time, so I wasn't even pressing him. Even when they was losing,
hmm
I was just like, whatever, man. They just trying to build it up.
My
But
problem
then I
isn't the
start to see. Go
Lions.
ahead.
It be Lions fans, man. Lions fans every year don't even be fucking know what they talk. We gonna win the Super Bowl, man. Shut the fuck up, bro. God damn, no, you're
Bro,
not.
any Lions
And
fan
it's
that
set up. It's
says
set up for
that,
the Lions to win this year. Their division so ass. Like
oh yeah,
they
for
should
sure,
have
for
a bye
sure.
week. The first. They should have a first round bye. I think they will.
Yeah, they should. They should
So
if they take care of business.
they're gonna
And
have a
see,
first round bye. Yeah.
my thing was, bro. I just started paying attention last year, bro, and I started really paying attention to what they was building. I started seeing the pieces coming together. I paid attention to the off season, what they did in the off season, what they did in the
hmm
draft, and it all lined up for them to have this type of season that they have it. So I
I
wouldn't
don't
know
like that
Lions
Baltimore
fan.
loss. I don't like that
I
Baltimore
don't
loss
either.
at all.
We can talk
They
about
can't
that the
lose
next
like
time we
that.
talk Lions.
Yeah,
We can talk
all
about
right.
that next time we talk Lions. But I'm just gonna say all the moves that they did lined up for me to be able to say, like, oh, we gonna be a playoff team this year. So that's why I was confident as a Lions fan to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I can root for this team this year loudly. Like I can talk
hmm
about it on my Facebook. Last year I wasn't talking about them on my Facebook. I ain't cause I know
You
you
know,
know
I
what I'm
was just
saying?
waiting on one loss in the first couple games so I can go crazy on Facebook. Like
It's okay, man. It's
same
okay.
old Lions, but I ain't even do it after Baltimore game because I'm like, everybody finna be doing that shit, just talking crazy about like, no,
Yeah,
they a good
yeah.
team. Lions a
Yeah,
good
no,
team,
they just got their ass beat, man. You know, it happens
man.
sometimes.
Man, yeah,
Especially on the top level, it happens sometimes. They gotta clean that shit up. They struggle with mobile
definitely.
quarterbacks. That's gonna be something they gotta work on. But
Yeah.
all right, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm gonna get you back on the podcast so we talk some more sports. Um, this has been another good show, man. I'm your host, man, Brandon Fresh. Dandridge is another episode of D Sports Gurus. We checking out. Oh shit, the mic. I grabbed the wrong motherfucker. Bitch, ain't working. Oh, there we go. All right.